You can get a full set for like, and this is still kind of crazy, but you can get a full set for like $600 to $700 versus like everybody else will charge you $1,600 to $2,000.
Damn.
You know, but also like you said, that's not. You gotta also understand it's a mindset thing within our communities. Gang, you got like moms and dads buying their 8th graders Ameri shoes and Ameri gym.
Right.
Like them is $1,000 shoes.
It's all about where you want to put the dollar.
Because you talked briefly about like your basketball history, and I remember we were talking yesterday about how far you actually got in there. What was like the moment that made you realize, okay, I want to be done with basketball and go full on into the golf like creator?
For sure. So basketball, funny story with Cleveland State when I redshirted my first year, we had COVID. So I thought my senior year basketball wise, that shit was chalked. And I actually got cited in the student versus staff game, again, similar to John Morant. And then I redshirted my first year at Cleveland State. And then I had an opportunity to do some stuff with the Cleveland Charge with shout out Imani Bates, Craig Porter Jr.
Damn,
those
that's
guys.
crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Imani Bates is stupid, by the way.
Oh,
like,
he's absolutely insane. Fucking play him, dude.
Yeah, please play him. Like, I don't know why we're not playing him.
I don't know why
what the fuck are we doing?
And that's why you're knocked
The
out.
nigga like 6'9".
And that's why you're
what are we
knocked
talking
out,
about?
he said.
You're bullshitting.
So, with that being said, a lot of guys, and I needed to make sure that I didn't fall into this trap. A lot of guys turn 24, 25, or even 30 years old, and these niggas is still talking about some, yeah, nigga, I still got to get into the gym. Nigga, it's over.
It's over. It's over. You got, bro.
Go get that CDL, my boy.
Similar.
Put them fries in the bag.
Similar.
Put the fries in the bag, gang. What is you saying?
Gang, similar to our fucking experience with basketball. Gang, I was in high school freshman year. I'm 5'1", 91 pounds. Nigga, I did conditioning. I went through the entire couple months of conditioning. Nigga, I'm looking at the trials. Mind you, our school is so big, but they already picking like who on the team. Right. I'm like, Matt, let's go to Chili's, nigga. Let's get to work. Nigga, I'm not making it. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
We was in this Park District basketball shit when we was real young. I remember I'm at the free throw line, bro. I airball that bitch. I'm like, let me pick this fucking camera.
You gotta know when it's like.
So I knew. I mean, that's probably the highest I was gonna go. I mean, you could go down and you could do. Could have went back to college. Could have went overseas. You're not gonna get paid overseas for real. It takes forever.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just like I gave the game everything I could. I'm cool with still busting niggas' ass at 30 years old and being able to play and be able to say I played at an elite level and y'all niggas still can't guard me.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
That's right.
That's cool.
I got a similar experience to that too, because it was like, I got a similar experience to that too. It was like the day I tried out for HF baseball. I tried out for the varsity team. I tried out every year. They cut my ass. I'm like, okay. Varsity, I tried out. A nigga came in there throwing 95. I said, no, this is not for me.
This is not for me. 95.
High school. You have it in high
It's a
school.
blink and it's already gone.
That's
it's already in the
crazy.
catcher's mitt. I'm like, yo,
high school is crazy.
I'm like, bro, I
I've
can't do
seen
that.
one
your league.
nigga.
That's
I've
league
seen
shit.
one nigga throw 95 in high school. It was Lincoln Way. Lincoln Way East is like a big
East
high
Side niggas
school.
over there,
They're like a
Yeah,
big
they
like
got
white
genetically
wealthy high
mutated
school.
white boys.
Genetically
mutated white boys.
They put something in the lunch during lunch period at that
for
school.
sure.
Because I'm seeing it. There were 2 days where we faced him. One day was my junior year. It was hot. We were at their field. I was like, cool. And I like made some contact. I hit it back at him. I said, maybe I'm good at this. And the next day it was 30 degrees outside. He's throwing 95. I said, I give up. I struck out 3 times. Not for me, big dog. Last year.
And it don't even be looking like they throw for real. They just,
It's just effortless.
Oh, yeah, you built for the shit.
Speaking of effortless, and we'll talk about it. We went. Actually, we got to see your golfing prowess in person.
Yes.
My God.
And
Oh,
dog
my
was
goodness.
whacking that
It's
bitch.
Mind you, first time at Topgolf, I'm looking at this big ass field. I'm like, bro, this is huge. He's getting up there. He looked back at us because I'm like, I don't know if he about to boom this bitch. I don't know what's finna happen. He talking about, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna hit this one good for real. I'm like, I don't know.
like,
Do we have the footage
Do
of
we
him
have the
booming this
footage?
shit?
we gonna go and jam.
Just him.
Do we want to go? Do we want to go jam format?
No, he can rate ours.
No, we got
Okay.
He can rate ours after, but because we was some.
He like, no, I don't know if I'm gonna hit it
I
good.
don't know if I'm bang this one.
Hopefully y'all can see this. Turn your brightness up.
fucking
Look at that
murders
fucking swing, bro.
Murdered the ball.
Man.
Murdered.
Wait, I think if you could find the first one where I'm kind of explaining and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We gotta,
I'm like,
we
I
can
might
put it, we
shank
might be
this
able to
bitch.
put
Yeah, we
it
can
in
put it
like
in
those
post,
shit.
yeah.
But either way, what y'all need to know is he murking it. Like I've never. I was playing the Wii back in the day. I was
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm getting,
childhood.
you know what I'm saying? We on some shit. He teaching us how to do it all type shit. I'm like, oh, let's see his swing. He's hitting the back of the fucking net. It's going. I think the first one he hit was 100 and what was it? 189 or 180 off the fucking driver or something. What are we talking about?
I was gonna say it's not often, like about the 95 miles an hour shit. It's not often that you see the D1 golf thing fits, because it's not often that you see like that type of like could be D1 talent. I want to ask you, what is it before you before we get into ours and you can give us your rating. Do we want to do that at the end? We can do that. Like
No. We can do it
now. Real quick before we get into that, I want to ask quickly, what is your best and worst moment you think with golf?
Like from like publicly?
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. All right. Best moment, I just posted a video with Eastside.
That's
that
I
drive,
did see it.
that gallery. I've never hit in front of a gallery. It was probably like
Can you explain
40.
what a gallery is for everybody?
Yeah, so a gallery is just like it's like fans that are in the NBA. Like if you go to an NBA game, obviously there's fans in seats. You're standing. The gallery will follow you throughout your round.
It's real PGA
Yeah,
shit.
real PGA shit. Like, and they'll walk with you. This was a celebrity game. Shout out the legend, the Bus. Played for Pittsburgh. Got a ring with them. So I played with him, Earl Cooper, who was the owner of Eastside, and it was myself and a first tee kid. Which was dope to kind of mentor him as well, because I came through the first tee. So I stepped up on the box. Mind you, on the first hole, which I did not post, and I will post it because I don't mind showing like my lowlights. I like didn't hit the ball well off the turf, and in my head, like now I'm rattled, and it takes a special kind of like mentality. We got up to the drive, and I said, I only thought to myself, this can go either really, really bad or fucking amazing. And it's hard to keep negative thoughts out because they just,
they manifest.
they're just gonna.
They're just
You
there.
can't even stop it.
Yeah,
You're thinking about like, what if I duff this bitch?
Yeah,
You feel me? So I just got up there, took a deep breath, and then the last words that I said to myself is, "Nigga, you're D1," and then boom, just hit.
We gotta like. If y'all don't know, like, if you didn't see it, we gotta like, I don't know, we gotta link it or something.
We gotta put the footage like
I'll send the raw video.
That shit was.
And
When
just
I saw
hearing
that,
everybody
I was like,
behind it,
he hit.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. They were like, oh shit, good
they were
ball and all of that.
cheering,
And that's, I think, during that moment, because it's so easy when you have that one fuck up to be like, all right, like,
To fold.
I'm done.
To fold. Yeah, to fold.
But I think in that moment you accept like, hey, I could be
I'm here.
fucked
Yeah.
up.
I'm
It's
here.
more
At
so
the end of
rise
the
back
day.
up.
It's more so about like what it really is like you were saying, like you're gonna get those negative thoughts. It's always gonna happen. Bro.
Always
You're
gonna be.
always
And
gonna
that's the
be
thing.
that anxiety is always going to be there.
Yeah,
In a sense,
it's not
it's
gonna go
work. It's
nowhere.
learning how to like deal with it, work through it, etc.
Say
Especially when you progress in the field too, it's just gonna be more crowds, more everything.
Yeah.
That applies
So
to
you gotta-
everything. Like,
And this is
Yeah.
your first time having a gallery follow you.
Yeah, that was my first time, and it wasn't. We were playing for charity, so
dope.
it still you just don't want to. You don't want to mess up in front of
Yeah, you
anybody.
still don't wanna-
Yeah.
On top of like, it was surreal because everybody was coming to the event to see the Bus and to see me, and I'm thinking to myself like, this is the Bus. Like legend, like NFL legend, Hall of Famer, and they're literally shouting me out on the mic like, "We got
say
our
his full
celebrity
name?
guest, D1," and I'm just like,
Celebrity.
can you
That
say
shit's crazy.
his full name, the football player's full name? For
yes,
people who don't know?
Jerome Bettis. Shout out Jerome Bettis, man, absolute legend. And he came out, showed love to all the kids, and the fact that the kids knew who I was, knowing that, because I obviously my audience is like middle aged, like dudes. The fact that the kids knew who I was and they be watching me, like, that's just a whole different perspective, bro.
It's a different feeling. I want to ask before you get to revealing what you think is your worst moment, you can view a couple of our worst moments in real time. I need to get out of 10 ratings on these swings because we all went to Topgolf. This is my second time being to Topgolf. It was like all y'all first time being there.
For sure.
And I picked the best swings out of everybody. So
Yeah?
yeah, best swings. Best
Shit, I
swings.
don't know when I haven't looked back at my swing. Here we go.
That's it.
This was your boy on this one.
Oh my, that was
actually, it
was
didn't
dope.
go as far as you might
That
think
went
it went.
straight.
But that was
That
straight.
was
Oh my
straight.
god.
Yeah, that was straight.
Okay.
Okay, the form was down.
You want me to rate that one right now?
Yeah, here, run it back a little bit. Yeah. Rate that out of 10.
You know what I really like? A lot of like amateurs get so into like their swing like not looking pretty or like they want it to look really good aesthetically. If that motherfucker work, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want to like raise this foot, but a lot of pros raise it, and you basically did a pro move there, raising the front leg because you want to get your weight back to the front.
That's
So
that
when you
baseball.
transition- and you hit it
That's
great.
that baseball.
I'm giving
Gotta
that. Not
transfer
gonna
that
lie, that looked. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that either.
So that's definitely like 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
That was tough.
Damn.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
I was thanking
W.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like shit that entire time, boy, because I'm hitting it. It's bouncing. It's
I was
different. That was one of the good ones. That's
Okay,
nice.
for sure.
W.
W. I'll
W
take my
ain't for
9.
putting the good one in that motherfucker. Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit. Ain't about to kill us.
He one-handed. Wait.
I just see it in the air.
Go back in. Here we go. AB.
Baseball. You know, that you could tell AB was trying to like fucking
Yeah,
hit
murder.
some- trying to murder that bitch. Yeah, no, that was tough. I think I kind of it was some fashion there at the end.
Yeah,
with
give him
with the
flair,
baseball
back
swag.
flip.
Yeah, the baseball
I was trying to
swag.
flip that
I'm giving
motherfucker.
that like 8.4.
8.4, okay.
8.5. I like
First
that.
time at Top
Nah,
Golf,
that's
I'll
good.
take it.
That was great.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Who's next? Who's
Who's
next?
next?
Al.
Mind
Okay,
you,
Alan.
guys.
This is
Don't
It was
know.
dark as shit.
is
I'm
dark.
so sorry. It was dark as
No,
shit.
it was because like the sun.
The
was
sun.
Yeah, the
reflecting,
sun was
yeah.
on the other.
I don't know
yeah.
why in the hell I woke up knowing I'm going to Topgolf and put on black Timbs.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Timberland
Black
boots.
Timberland boots.
Still did better than me on average, but let's look at this shot.
So
He hit
short,
that bitch though.
short follow through. You made contact.
Did
I-
make contact.
I do want to see a little bit more width in the backswing.
Yeah.
But you were so swagged out, and the fact that you wore Timbs was really like that's an iconic statement. Not gonna lie. So I'm gonna give that a solid 8.
See,
Solid eight.
right
Solid
there.
That's
You feel
hard,
me?
that's hard.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the effort that was
Solid
put
8.
into that.
And last but certainly not.
I really don't remember my swings, but I did have a weed though. He did.
Matt was hitting them bitches like a lot
No,
throughout
that's
the
a
day.
fact.
I need to see it. Oh, we have internet.
W.
Here we go.
W internet.
Okay, you see the stance. Okay.
I like the hesitation
Right.
up top. So there's a guy named Ben Kruper who actually pauses. Who actually pauses at the top of his swing, and then he follows all the way through.
Oh shit.
So you.
So
I
he's
feel like it gave me a little
you was
bit. I
low-key
feel like
on
it
some-
gave me a little bit more control as I'm coming up. I felt like I was coming up too fast. You know what I mean? I had to, check the wind. Now,
yeah, I'm gonna get that solid. I'm gonna get that like 8.5.
okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
8.5.
W.
Everybody's above 7, which is elite. So for the first time,
Jam goes golfing.
that's tough.
At the
Jam goes
country
golfing.
club.
Y'all will
jam at the country club. or some shit.
Y'all will see a lot more of that content as it comes through. But I was gonna ask because we're gonna get back into obviously your journeys with getting better at the sport and everything. But let's get into the real.
Wait. Worst moment?
Oh yeah, worst moment.
Worst
Sorry.
moment.
Yeah.
Worst moment was when I went down to Florida for Evan Thompson's thing, and it was my first time playing what's called Bermuda grass, which is a different type of grass
Yeah.
than up. You know,
I seen the lawn dude be doing.
yeah, fact. So I wasn't really acclimated to the space. I didn't play well, and now that I am a golf creator, the expectation is I'm gonna go out there and shoot
Go
even
crazy
every
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
And
not the case.
That's not the case because golf is so hard.
It's a sport.
And
It is
I
a
go
sport,
through
yeah.
so many swing changes to get to where I really want to be at. Right now is probably the best that my swing has felt in a long time. And it's really just grinding that in. Like I just switched my grip up. So instead of normal
the
grip,
10 finger,
the
right?
10 finger,
Can you
right? Which is
explain
kind of
that?
going viral on Instagram. Like a whole bunch of people are starting to hit me up like, went to the 10 finger, it's crazy now. Because it's frowned upon. Like not a lot of people do it. It's unorthodox. And no
How
one
do
wants
you-
to be unorthodox.
Yeah,
They
can you
just
show us how?
yeah, so this is interlock, which is what most pros use, and then there's a pro that's on the tour now. He has a 10-finger grip, and it's only like 5 of them versus like 400 people that's in the field, right? So that's like 0.%. And so baseball grip was how you guys grip of baseball.
Yeah.
It's not as spaced out because I feel like do you guys have spaces on baseball?
Some people do. I
don't-
hate
yeah,
it.
You
can't-
kinda have
I
it
can't-
have to have it
it's
together,
gotta be
yeah,
connected,
Okay.
yep.
So instead of like I wouldn't hold a golf club like this with the 10 finger, it kind of looks more like that.
Yeah.
Kind of looks more like that. More connected, kind of squeezed together, and then that thumb is not like holding it like this.
Pointing.
It's kind of
5 feet to
pointed.
do that.
Yeah. So
that's dope.
it just didn't feel athletic. And I've been interlock my whole life, and I just switched literally like
Damn, I
2
feel
weeks
like,
ago.
You know, this shit remind me of like you play club.
Yeah, come on.
And you play Cologne?
Yeah, we used to grind Fortnite and like we used to grind
Okay.
Fortnite back in the day. So like there was different ways of holding
To hold a controller?
Yes, you could hold
Yeah.
it regular, and then like if you want to be really good, you could like hold it in like claw position. But the
Okay.
thing is, you'll lose your fucking finger.
Yeah.
So like when I'm like 28, I'm gonna have like a bionic hand.
Yeah.
When me and Josh, we kind of relate to that, like changing the grips, because usually when we're batting, well, when we first started out batting, like I would have like the bat like these, so my
Yeah.
bows would be out and shit. But now you gotta kind of like
Relax
line up
with
your
it and line it up.
line up your knuckles and like I get that, bro.
You're not as tense.
You gotta find that.
And
You
that-
gotta let it flow.
And
Yeah.
that like that has you think it drastically improved like your game?
Yeah, man. I think it took a while before I went to Detroit to like clear my mind like a week before I came to Chicago because I had played the like worst round of my life out there with my boy Tone. That video that did like 3 million views. That's him. And we
That's
went
your
out
brother,
there.
right?
Yeah, not like by blood, but like bro, that's big bro.
Okay,
That's
gotcha,
big
yeah.
bro. So we got the same dream. We went out there, couldn't find the back of the ball. Like I looked like I had never played golf before. And I came home and my mom, she was like, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Detroit. And I packed up all my stuff, threw it in a caddy. And my aunt lives out there. She owns a natural hair care company. And we went out there and I pulled up. She was in Aruba. So the crib was empty.
Oh,
And I said, yeah, I'm crashing. I'm just going to get my game right. And I went up there for like 2-3 days. I grinded out at her range. I just needed a different scenery. And just to be to myself.
Shit.
That's
Yeah.
dope as hell.
We gotta
bro.
start golfing, man.
we
Yeah,
gotta start
start
golf.
golf.
That seems
Dude,
peaceful.
I ain't gonna lie, if there's
Come
one
through.
thing,
As fuck, bro.
my dad been fucking with golf. He always was like talking about like Tiger and all types of shit, getting into like all the golf shit. We definitely, that was my first time like actually like swinging like at like Topgolf. We could do this shit like for real. That shit's
Facts.
so peaceful,
It is.
bro.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid and my mom tried to put me in golf lessons and like I didn't want to and she forced me to. And I was just like, bro, this shit is stupid. And then I remember my uncle was golfing. I'm like, why do you like this shit? He's like, it's a peace thing. And I think it was a thing for me until I got older. I was like, I could really see how this could like clear your mind.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially take a lot of shit off.
Damn.
Agreed.
That was right before you came to Chicago.
That was right before. Like I had played the worst golf possible, and then I went and played some of the best golf in a practice round where I was kind of jumping around my home course that lets me play for free, and I was putting the ball basically wherever I wanted to, and it's hard because then you think you really got it figured out,
And then
you
have
don't.
Yeah.
But when you can get there, the potential is like, damn, like I was 2 under through 8 holes. I could really do this shit. Like 2 under
Yeah.
through 8 is tough to do.
Yeah.
So I was like in my head, I'm like, okay, like we're getting somewhere, and it's just grinding it out every day.
Yeah, and I can already feel like that mindset. It's very easy to slip into, especially like as an athlete, where you have those good days and those bad days. I was gonna ask, mainly about like the centering yourself in this journey that like you've been on, because we've talked about, we mentioned briefly earlier about like being a black person in a predominantly white sport.
It's about to get spicy.
It's about to get spicy.
It's about to get
So-
real.
spicy.
So I remember that's something that me and him obviously had experience with growing up playing baseball. And there's something that like there's a lot of uncomfortability, especially with us in a lot of spaces, because there's that thing of conformity that always kind of gets brought up. And we as people especially like have our own flair to shit. Niggas create the culture for a reason. So you oftentimes see when that gets in the same space as people who are not used to that or who have all types of negative stereotypes about that, there's clashes there.
Right.
So I want you to speak to a little bit about your experience. What has been your experience like being a black person in a predominantly white sport in America, and how do you think that has like affected you?
For sure. Yeah. At the private school that I was at, when I was actually going into it, and all of those guys, I mean, it's a whole bunch of white kids. They've been around country clubs their whole life. When I went to tryouts and I first got accepted to the private school, the coach, my mom walked up to the first tee box. I had my clubs. I even had a jacket that would insinuate that I was going to the school in the fall.
Right.
And the coach said, hey man, you know, you can either go right in front of us or we'll be right out your way. And my mom was ready to like tear his shit off because he was insinuating that I wasn't there for the tryouts. Because he was saying like, you can either go ahead or you can just wait and we'll be out of your way in a minute. And it's like, no, nigga, I'm here.
He thought you was
He
just trying
thought
to
you-
play.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he thought, yeah. It was like, no, nigga, I'm here to play.
Yeah.
So at growing up, you always have, especially on the tee box, like when you're on the tee box at a new course, especially at a country club, you'll see, you can't always think that all those members, when they come around and they watch you, it's not necessarily to see if you're going to hit it well. It's really to see like, this black motherfucker think he nice. Who does he think he is coming to my country club?
Right.
Yeah, teeing off. And it'll be controversial. Like when this segment itself might blow up just because a lot of white golfers are oblivious to it and they get super defensive when I bring that up. But it's my experience. I know what it's like when people are coming to watch you to see you boom it, and when people are coming to watch you to see you duff that motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's been plenty of times where they're just kind of in the background waiting to see like, this nigga think he Tiger. You know, and then I boom that bitch, and then it, you know, then it's a whole bunch of dick riding. It's like,
Yeah,
keep
now
that
it's
same
like,
energy,
Wow,
bro.
you're so athletic.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah.
Did you see that video on
Yeah,
my
I
page?
did. I saw
Okay,
that.
for
I saw
sure.
that
So
shit.
that one did crazy, did like 2.5 mil, and basically the dude's like, bro, if I had your athleticism, I'd smoke your balls. Which, first of all, pause.
Paul,
Wait,
Pause.
You smoke my what?
Crazy? You gonna smoke what?
Bro, and when I posted it, I was only posting it saying like that comment itself, like smoking balls was crazy, pause. But it turned into a whole like racial tension
yeah.
that it was a lot of black people coming into my defense, like really athleticism versus like the skill that he put in to get there. And I never really
It's
thought
because
about
You
it
don't
like
have
that.
to be weird.
It's
you don't,
because it's that. So the thing that pisses a lot of people off, right, and a lot of like white people who don't want to hear the shit or react negatively. Thing that pisses them off is because you have to get a perspective on what dehumanization looks like in real time. And just because you're not literally owning a slave does not mean that you see somebody as a full person. If you're looking at somebody who's an athlete, they already assume because black people be predominantly like in athletic stuff, it's like that raw athleticism,
Yeah.
like it's some
Every time.
ingrained
Like, it's
essential
crazy,
part
man.
of black anatomy or something
Right.
on some scientific racism shit.
Yeah.
And you make that assumption because you see those black players around you and you don't credit it to their determination, their hard work to make sure they get there, to XYZ. It's that inborn skill because that's the only way they
That's
can be
the only
there,
way
right?
they
That's
can
the
do
only
it.
way
They
you
gotta
can
be
be nice
some
at the shit.
generational
Yeah.
fucking alien just
Mind
to get up there.
you, you're
Stop it.
40 and your knee hurt. Like, yeah.
No,
When
for
are
real.
you talking? Yeah, you can
Yeah.
compete, right? Still.
Yeah.
Right,
So like there's obviously like elements to it, and I feel like that kind of that's being too woke. That's a little bit too much for people, but that's an assumption that you make every day. You just say it. You don't even realize the implications of it.
I want to talk about, since you brought that up, going back to the high school thing, because I went to a private school too, and the whole environment was different from coming back from like a diverse place to like just predominantly white people. And I realized that experience, like going through high school, I was so used to kind of being that commodity in a sense of like niggas using that like racist jokes. And it's like, haha, because I'm so used to just white people. We just want friends. I wanted to ask you, like, how being in those predominantly white fields, how did you still keep like yourself and being like, I'm a black man in this field, and not being that commodity and really standing strong on that?
Because you hinted at like the tokenization thing too, so I want to get
Right, and that's not to. I'm not like taking a jab at first tee with it, but it's the reality that they do have to understand that that is what I was used for in that moment, right? Because you're trying to put on diversity, which is very important, but it's also important to
Actually
Or to
have
be
diversity.
substantive.
actually
Yeah,
have
like-
diversity.
Exactly.
You know what
Don't
I mean?
just
You
put
have
the
to
black
put.
kid up there,
Can't
yeah.
just yeah.
Yeah.
Can't just push a black person up there and then say we got
Diversity,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
Hell
Can't
no.
use a selling point.
It's important to enlist those things and make sure that those things are happening, right? And it's just important that we have representation in the sport because, unfortunately, a lot of white people think, and even black people think that golf is a white
It's a white sport,
Yep.
yeah.
Mind you, the greatest nigga ever to ever touch a fucking club, black as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
whether he accept that or not, it's a different story. It's a different story. And even the pioneers, the first person to play golf in America was black, John Shippen. People don't know. We don't talk about that.
I didn't know that.
You feel
We
me?
just do this shit. Every day I find out about another
Isn't this a crazy thing to think about? When you look at the top in any industry.
I know what you're about.
You already know where I'm going. Come the fuck on, nigga. You already know where I'm going. When you look at the top of any industry, whether you like the person or not, even when not given the same opportunity or the same head start that our white counterparts and our sisters and brothers have, we still have excelled to being revered as one of the greatest examples. You look at boxing, you got Mayweather, or Muhammad Ali, or Mike Tyson, right?
Mike Tyson,
You look at golf, you got Tiger Woods. You look at basketball, Bron Jordan. You look at tennis, white as fuck, Serena fucking Williams.
Oh, bro.
You look at gymnastics, Simone Biles. You look at track.
baseball, Barry Bonds,
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson.
And then now let's take it a step further outside of the sporting aspect. You look at from a medical standpoint, I'm personally not a fan of this nigga, but Ben Carson, low-key that nigga when it comes to that shit. He's smart as shit. He's just dumbass
politically.
Dumb as fuck.
You feel me? Like, we don't fuck with bro, but like at the same time, like
he did
did he like split twins?
Yeah, he was the first person to do the conjoined.
Oh shit! I didn't feel me. Conjoined twin surgery.
He was the first person to do conjoined twin surgery, where it's like the brain and everything like that. Yeah, it was a movie on
bro.
it.
Ben Carson, he's one of the greatest. He just say dumb shit.
Yeah, he just can't be a politician.
Yeah, you feel me?
Stop.
And then
Never be a Never again.
Some niggas need to stay. You know who else crazy? Stephen A. Never be a politician.
I'm not gonna lie. Sit your bitch ass right. It's a shut up and dribble moment. I'm sorry. I have to be the one to say it. I have to.
Man.
So when you look at
Stevens, hell no.
so and then when you look at the highest of the high, you look at who runs shit. When you talk about a house that was built by slaves, and 400 years later, the nigga running that shit, Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And to think that the whole thing for the American dream is if you put your mind and you put, you put all this ability, you can do anything in America. That's not our reality.
That's not.
And even
And they hate when we say that because now we're victimizing and a whole bunch of bullshit.
Now we gotta pull up the fucking bootstraps and shit.
We'll focus on like DEI and shit. When you really look at it, like the point with all these black people being super good at the pinnacle of their sport does not mean that the discrimination didn't exist. It means that they succeeded despite the discrimination.
Correct.
Which means that they had to work harder than yo bitch ass to get it.
Yes.
That's
the second part that
I'm
motherfuckers don't want to
sorry,
say.
but statistically, a LeBron James, Serena Williams, a Michael Jordan is working a lot harder in their circumstances
These
to
are all
get
goats.
there.
These are all like these are the greatest to ever do this. And they're all black.
So that does not mean that like it's just the that means that you have literally systemically like disadvantaged people, and they will do that shit regardless. Imagine what black representation could look like in sports if some of those barriers.
If everything started this, and that's the argument is if we all started the same, where would we be?
Yeah. And going back, y'all named all those people, and they started at that disadvantage being in those industries. How did you still maintain that confidence being in a dominated white field?
That element of yourself.
For sure. I mean, I just like to remind myself that my ancestors like do this shit. Like Charlie Sifford, who was the first PGA, like pro PGA, he ran a Cleveland, like the course that I went viral at, he ran that course. And I'm really good friends with his son, Junior, who's a lot older now. And Charlie Sifford Jr., a lot of people might not know this either. If you're a golfer, you know, but Charlie Woods is named after Charlie Sifford. So it's crazy that Tiger Woods, it's weird that he's named after one of the greatest black golfers of all time, yet Charlie Woods won't ever really know the magnitude because of kind of what Tiger believes in. And that's not to take away anything that Tiger has done. He's the whole reason that I play the game. I just feel that, and this argument could be made as well, I feel that he could represent us better. Now you might say people might pull up a whole bunch of shit of Tiger like giving back to charities and all this and that, right?
They will.
That shit doesn't get publicized though. The things that do get publicized is this nigga fucking with Trump.
And you gotta know that.
Yeah.
You feel me? And you gotta know that.
You gotta understand that.
Right?
That's that same shit we talk about with Kai. Like you gotta understand.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Kai can build a school here, there, but that shit not getting posted. It's the big shit, and whether it's the truth or not, okay, you have to speak your own truth as a Kai Cenat, as a Tiger Woods, or you gonna let them define you.
And,
You know what I mean?
it's so important that like people, especially when you're the greatest, you have that responsibility now because you have a voice. Right. And I think because we talk about it all the time as being black and kind of getting up in the world, you almost forget that perspective of being black because you're not around it. And I feel like that's what's happened to Tiger. And
What were you gonna say, Abby?
I was gonna say too, like all the names that we've mentioned being the greatest of all time in their respective fields, and I kind of feel like some of these niggas, they would try to use that and say, well, I mean, if they can do it, I guess there is no racism.
There isn't
right?
any
And it's like,
disadvantage.
no,
Crazy
there is.
statement.
Which
It's
is
a
funny,
very crazy statement.
Considering Thurgood Marshall became a Supreme Court justice in the middle of like people getting pepper sprayed and beaten
Which is
for
crazy
wanting
work.
to have rights as black people. Yes, your personal upward mobility does not mean the demographic is
niggas.
A-okay.
Right.
That means that they're
Exactly.
succeeding, like I said, despite
Yeah.
this shit, and I feel like that pisses a lot of people off. The thing that I kind of wanted to like get into about distinguishing it, because like you said, like someone like Charlie will be named after like a black legend. Not really like fully get that. There's a reason why Tiger was mentioned in Trump's thing where he
Right.
he briefly talked about black history and was like, yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
And Tiger Woods. Here, nigga. Here, nigga.
That's literally what it is.
Oh
So I
my
wanted
God.
to ask because, and I'm gonna get into a little bit of my experience with it too. One of the things that I've noticed about like baseball too, predominantly white sport in America, that's called America's
Jesus,
pastime.
so
despite
much
the fact-
fucking racism.
Despite
in
the fact
bro.
that the Dominican and Japanese
Dominate.
much more love the
Yeah.
sport than America
For
does.
sure.
But even if you look at like the top 10 lists, like home run wise, I think one of the only white people on there is Babe Ruth. And then you have niggas like
I don't
Barry
even- wait.
Bonds, and you have Hank Aaron, and you have Alex Rodriguez, and you have all types of people who are either Dominican or African American or
That have
everything.
ethnicity.
I heard that Babe Ruth was Dominican though.
Was he?
I don't know.
I'm not
Maybe.
gonna get into the genealogy. George Herman Ruth.
You're not gonna like that one, bro.
Stay over there.
How many niggas gonna be in the He was Dominican. He was Dominican.
Fucking white pride. White pride shit.
But,
Trolling these niggas.
in
Fuck
a more optimistic but still realistic sense, what do you think is something that you'd love to see in like golf or in your field that would get more black like kids interested?
Yeah. I think a big issue with some of the golfing programs in America, I'm not going to single out any single one, but it's very cookie.
You know who you are.
It's very cookie cutter. And I think when I was growing up, we truly focused on skill. I think a lot of things that it's a lot of young parents that are our age or a little bit older, they're a part of the social media. So you trying to put your kid into what's trending.
Yeah.
And
You're
you
still
also
on
just
that
trying
mindset.
to, you trying to dump this nigga off on some babysitting type shit. This nigga don't want to be here.
Yeah.
You need to figure out are you trying to expose him to it? And if he tells you I don't want to do it, then at that point you pull him out. Or because I've seen a kid 3 summers in a row come to first tee and he don't want nothing to do with golf at all. But Duke's just trying to get an hour and a half at the crib. So it's starting to water, and we've had to water things down and cookie cut things, and it's been way more about like life morals, which that's totally fine. The niggas still got to learn how to putt.
Yeah.
The niggas still got to learn how to hit a ball.
There's a lot of black people that even like I've heard or know where it's like my mom and them will say shit like that. Was like, oh, you know, should have got you into golf or you make money. You did. Okay,
Like,
yeah,
put
but
me in there
like
to-
y'all are kind of, if anything, you taking away from the love of the game as well.
Correct.
Because like you said, you have to like it.
Gotta
So
like
it's like you're putting me in it because black man, white sport. That's already in your brain. You've been socialized to believe that. Oh, I'm gonna put my son in this because I want him around all the white people in
And you want to know
Like-
another thing, and this is funny because it perfectly segues into the classism.
not for-
the classism question that
Yeah,
you're gonna
exactly.
ask. Do you think that one of those solutions can be like making the sport itself more accessible when it comes to things like equipment, because there are a lot of people who will try to make that call like an investment. They'll want to be like, all right, cool, I don't give a fuck if you like it or not, but this at the end of the day might be one of the only things that you could do to change our circumstance, which is horrible. You shouldn't push that onto your kid at a young age. But you kind of lose the ability to gauge whether or not they actually fuck with it. So do you think that like if taking down some of those class boundaries, making a lot of this shit like more expansive, more affordable, would allow for like you to get a pool of people who care?
Yeah, I agree. I think like if you take it back to just all the things like redlining, systemic racism, and all of those things combined, it stems to golf as well, right? Golf is the only sport that you can like low-key suck in and still gain substantially your social status. It's the only sport that allows a full conversation, but they put these unwritten rules in these places to where these are the only men that control the world that play it, that we, even if we really wanted to do it, we'll never be able to access it because we don't have the money to afford the polos, the clubs, the shoes, the tees, the balls. And that goes back to, you know, why like black families can't make as much as, you know, families that, you know, that aren't of color and things of that nature.
Effectively frozen out of it.
Correct. It's all like trickle effect. We can't compete in it because our parents don't make enough to do it because
country clubs are $300 an hour.
These clubs I'm looking at right now say 1,000 on them.
Real quick, how much does it cost for like a full golf gear, like full everything, clubs,
like
shirt,
give us like an average.
For sure.
Estimate.
So thankfully, like I signed with Tacoma, which they're like one of the first brands to make really good irons, but not charge like not trying to hit niggas over the head for them.
Right.
So you can get a full set for like, and this is still kind of crazy, but you can get a full set for like $600 to $700 versus like everybody else will charge you $1,600 to $2,000.
Damn.
You know, but also like you said, that's not. You gotta also understand it's a mindset thing within our communities. Gang, you got like moms and dads buying their 8th graders Ameri shoes and Ameri gym. Like them is $1,000 shoes.
It's all about where you want to put the
It's all exactly. So it's like that $800. Like I remember we didn't have money like that, but I was begging my mom to give me a PC because okay, this PC gonna allow me to not only play Fort competitively, but also fucking do content, do shit. You know what I mean? And those are certain instances where, as parents and as that older generation, we got to change our own view of the sport.
For sure.
It's a hella black people right now that's like, this golf shit lame as hell. What the fuck do I look like playing golf? Da, 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 da. And it's like, gang,
Yo,
you're
kid could
tripping.
love
Like,
that.
you're really
It's just a
tripping.
thing.
And
Agreed.
what you said with like when it comes to a lot of black families spending that unnecessary money on children with shoes like that, like Amiri shoes. And the reason they do that is because the perception is, okay, for my kid to fit in this world, they need that expensive thing. And I know when it comes to golf, the whole perception of it is privileged because you need to get that expensive shit to fit in.
Yeah, that
How
polo,
was that when you
you know
were
what I
first
mean?
getting into golf, being young, and probably might not having the money to afford those things? How did you still fit into that?
Yeah, Dukes, shout out Dukes. I mean, she just sacrificed so much for us. She made sure that we at least had the bare minimum to allow us to get on the box. You know, as long as I can get on that box, that's all that matters. I'll take care of the rest. So she giving me the khakis. She giving me the like a collared shirt, and that's really all you need. You might still be looked down upon because you ain't got the polo on, but nigga, come look at this game, nigga. Like, what's up? And you know, it's getting to the point where even on the post, that's why I do post in the jerseys and shit like that. Cause they'll be like, oh, what fucking weak ass course let you? And then I fucking name the course, and they're like, oh shit, like they let you go out there. You can wear whatever, like you said, rules only apply to us, right? Because you got guys like, and I love John Daly. This isn't a shot at him, but I mean, this is just the privilege that he has. Yeah, John Daly's like a crazy talented golfer on the PGA Tour, and you see him all the time, like barefoot on the course, like super open shirt.
That's just your style, man.
Yeah, that's just
your style.
right, exactly. And then I'll be in the comments, like when they post John Daly doing that shit, I'll be like, oh, but I can't wear a jersey. I can't, like, I got shoes on.
Yeah.
Bro ain't even got no shoes on.
And I think what's so fucked up about that is like Because I remember I was looking up like golfers who do push the boundary when it comes to fashion, and like a person like that will be highlighted because it's like, oh well, he's doing like something different.
That's
rather
that's
than if
pushing
you
the
were to do
boundary.
it.
Right.
That's pushing the
And
boundary.
if you were
but
to do it,
were
that's
to
fucking the game up.
They on you.
Yeah, get 'em.
Disrespecting.
They gonna hate if I ever. I'm telling you, like the amount of practice I put in,
just to see what the fuck is gonna happen. Just walk on the field barefoot.
You feel
see what
me?
happens.
Yeah, bro, it would blow up because my algorithm was going slow one time, and I was like, let me just throw a wife beater on. And I threw the wife
they
beater on,
tweaked
and
out.
it just
It's that
it tweaked
media
out. It got like
shit.
40K in like a day, easy.
What was it?
Crazy.
I mean, so the first time, my first video that went viral when I was wearing a wife beater, it was a lot of hate, way more love than hate.
Yeah.
Now I got such a big community that for the most part, niggas wasn't tweaking. It was like,
Yeah.
bro, nice as hell, and he got a wife beater on. He cool as hell.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Yeah.
starting it's starting to change. When I first came out, it was who the fuck is this nigga? He think
Yeah.
who he think he
You know
is?
the
We don't know
name
who
for
he
yourself,
is.
yeah.
I didn't have no followers, and I had that, and it was popping off. They're like, who do you think you are?
A point just popped in my mind because I think that that's something that all of us have done in a certain sense where it's like we've been told and advised and we've seen how niggas like kowtow to certain shit, how they like fit inside a box to try to give themselves the highest earning potential. And what I was gonna say is one of the things that we've tried to instill is kind of saying fuck it sometimes.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
And that love will
literally.
come because now you found people who actually do fuck with that. And I think one of the things that we've talked about was like the language, because we all we've seen some of y'all
We
comments.
gonna talk about
as
the
well.
OGs?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
a little
we gonna
bit.
talk
Just a
about
little
the
bit.
OGs a
I
little
wanted
bit,
to I
nah.
wanted to get your thoughts because I'm like, along with the dress code stuff and obviously the perception that's gonna come with that. Your content is a lot like my content in the sense that it's unfiltered because it's me. Right,
And it pushes the boundary because it's predominantly white.
Yes.
And they don't want you to do that.
Yeah, and the political field is also still like a predominantly like white field. It's
sure.
very diverse now. It's supposed to be representative of the country, but you see where that power is still concentrated. So it's very easy for me to make a video and say some words in it, and people have problems with it all the time, even on this podcast.
I like the message, but why are you
You
cursing
guys
so
gotta
much?
stop the cursing.
So
Fuck
what
you,
has been
nigga.
your experience with?
the fuck
So
outta
what has
here.
been your experience with like that backlash if you face any of that?
No, for sure. It's terrible. I mean, people are in the comments all the time like, hell of a swing, but put a polo on.
Yeah,
Fuck
like,
you.
Yeah.
Like,
Polo
what
needs
it's
nothing,
so
nigga.
much shit,
Right,
bro.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so many parameters of shit that as black men and as just black people in general, we always gotta be on this
gotta be on
to
point.
be
Gotta
to
be
be
on
everything,
to be
yeah.
taken serious, to be
Yes.
professional, what's it called, code switching, and they be and white people be doing nut shit. You got our president. Our president is a
1%.
felon.
Yeah.
Is a felon. Is a felon. What?
Convicted. Full stop.
Convicted. You full stop.
Around Diddy and them.
Yeah, hang around Diddy and them. And y'all are in the comments telling us like, yo, the message would be good, but you guys are cursing. Come on, bro. Stop the bullshit, gang.
Isn't that insane to think that from a people, and this obviously isn't everybody, because we meet great like white sisters and brothers
Yeah, of
every
course.
single day.
Hell yeah.
But we're talking to people that just don't have a progressive mindset.
Yeah, they don't get it. Yeah.
They don't get it.
I was gonna say this is not just a white people thing too. It's
not.
It's in the black community too because
Yeah,
I
of
feel
course.
like when we think about it, right? My main thing, and it could be a controversial take. You could be mad about it. My main thing
Stay
that I
mad, Nick.
want to try to do is I don't want black people to just be like successful and respected in whatever field they're doing. I want black people to be able to be human.
Yeah.
That's a luxury that niggas do not get, and you don't understand it until you start seeing it. If Trump can literally redefine a political era by removing the censorship, saying what the fuck ever. He got on mic and he was acting like he was dick sucking. Like literally he was acting like he was doing a blowjob on a microphone for a joke when he was on the stage. If people like that can do that, and you can see enough about them to be like, yes, crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
President of the United States.
Yes.
If someone can see that, right, that means that you've unlocked a new aspect in your mind where you can see all the bad things about a person, but for whatever biases you have, you're like, oh, I still care about them. I still fuck with them. So if we're advocating for your ass at home and you agree and you can see where we're getting the conclusions from and you think that it's progressive and positive towards the advancement of black people,
Right.
but you stall up because I said fuck. Like
crazy
that
word.
is a standard that you're not holding.
Before you start, here's the thing, right? We can say, oh damn, they're rounding up all these people and they're deporting them. These fuck niggas are rounding up people and deporting them. You get this. You get the message. Still.
You know what I said. You know what I said. You know what I
So
said.
you know what the crazy thing is about that? It really,
You know what I said. You know what I said.
yeah. The crazy shit about that is it really determines on like the subject matter and where like people, because it's a pick and choose thing.
Yeah, it is.
When it comes to being black and being in entertainment, you can call someone a bitch ass nigga all you want. Nigga, white people laugh at that shit.
Yeah.
No
And
shots.
then golfing, and then golfing.
Literally, look at Kai. Like
Yeah.
Kai say the craziest shit.
Kai say
Laugh,
that shit.
all types of shit. But when it comes to subject matter, we talk about being in golf and you cuss, and then it's like, oh shit, he's aggressive. Oh
have
shit, he
to
needs
really
to stop
conform.
because of that subject.
Yeah, depending on the avenue, you have to really conform to some of this shit. And I feel like when you do that, you eliminate black
eliminate
people's ability
yourself.
to
Yeah.
be a person.
Yeah.
Correct. Like, yeah, the way I say things isn't gonna make you comfortable all the time.
Yeah.
Just like the way your mama say things ain't gonna make you comfortable all the time. You should afford people
Human.
that.
And that's how we
Right.
get
Yeah.
at Tiger Woods. Nigga, mealworms gnawing at his shit. That car accident changed it all.
For sure, and it's similar to like just white people or just in general allowing like just mainstream rap air on the radio, but you would never allow a rap song or a song in general be able to talk about killing and skinning cats and dogs and things of that nature. You would not allow that to air on the radio, yet you will allow niggas talk about niggas killing each other from a day-to-day basis and killing ops and talking about bitches. You'll allow that to air on the radio to us, but you would never allow a nigga that if he started rapping about skinning cats and killing baby dogs and shit,
Yeah.
you would never. And
Yeah,
to
you
think
have
that,
more of a moral like disgust about
Yeah.
like some shit like
or for an animal versus
Then
a
fucking-
human being.
Or
Yeah.
depends on who it's
Yeah.
from.
And
Yeah.
then take
And
it
then
one
you
step
blame-
further. You let Sabrina. Wait, who just
Sabrina
made
Sabrina
Cardi.
them.
When did she? Was that her
Bro,
album
Sabrina
cover?
got an album cover. And Sabrina album cover, I think it's called Man's Best Friend. And it's her in a dog collar, like on all fours, like looking like she about to suck a nigga dick or something. First of all,
crazy.
Sabrina, I want to let you know, warning.
I'm not trying to sound like that. I'm not trying to sound like that C-008.
How you even know where I was going to go with it?
We love you.
Come on, the J.
But like
The point being,
We love you. Yo.
the point being.
No, the point is no, real spill. The point is niggas will see that
right.
and be like, damn, okay,
No,
Sabrina. Damn, oh my God. Niggas will see that and say, Sabrina, what's the word?
Right.
But then niggas will see Sexy Red talking about the same shit she talking about. It's the same
crazy.
provocative
Same
shit.
shit.
And they'll be like, oh, Sexy Red,
She's
you're
not
dooming the entire black
And we're
community.
not
Entire
saying
black
condoning it.
community.
We're not saying like give sexy red
Yeah, we're
pass.
not
We're just
saying-
saying keep that shit the same with everybody.
What do we
Exactly.
keep it?
Don't
Yeah,
pick and
keep it
choose.
consistent.
Yeah, don't pick and choose.
That's what we doing.
If it's
Keep
a
it
problem,
consistent.
then it's a problem, and it shouldn't be just a problem because a black woman said it.
Yeah,
Y'all
exactly.
bullies.
Fuck out of here.
It's whatever
Exactly.
fits the American model.
We're gonna get dragged out of the studio. So I want to quickly wrap up with: did we address? Is there anything big that y'all want to? Because we only gonna get one chance
I wanna
before you're on
ask-
PGA
Okay,
Tour
ask
and shit.
I want to
I
ask.
know he gonna be on
so
PGA.
with-
We never
Right.
again.
So when it comes to baseball, right, we all have baseball athletes. We have like hidden rules, right? So one of them is you can't step on the foul line because like niggas done
Bad
spent.
luck.
It's bad luck.
Superstition.
You can't like when you step in the box, you can't like flick the dirt towards the catcher. What else is there?
There, you can't flip your bat on a home run.
You can't
although
flip.
That's changing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
changing
changing.
now.
Niggas just fuck you, nigga.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So what are
Throw
some of
that
those
bitch.
like unwritten rules?
For sure, yeah, like not stepping in people's lines, and we actually talked about a little bit with how to keep the movie as authentic as possible. We talked about in there of like having those unwritten rules and learning those things in it because you can't take away their unwritten rules should be there. There are some that are just absolutely stupid, like
Yeah.
wearing a polo all the time and this and that. Like it really shouldn't matter what you wear. Am I gonna shoot this 66 or 90? Because it's niggas that wear polos and pay $120 for a polo instead of buying a fucking PGA coach to fix that weak. That's just ass, my nigga. Go get a fucking coach. Go get a fucking
Decked
coach.
out in the
You worried
latest
about a
gear, can't even
polo,
swing that
Niggas
bitch.
spend $300 on a fit, nigga. You shot 99 today. Rapping the
Oh my mama, like
fuck is we saying?
you got the game fucked up.
You
bro.
feel me?
Real
So
spill.
the small shit, like if I had kids, I would teach them, you know, You wait until people get off the green. You're not supposed to hit into them. You don't walk into people's lines on the green. You always shake hands after the 18th. Those are things that no matter what I'm wearing, it should still happen.
Exactly.
But
the other bullshit.
yeah, the other bullshit, fuck out of Cleveland, nigga.
Yeah.
And real quick, I want to ask you about that movie.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, since we're about to get dragged out of here, this is what I say though. What's like? I want like the final overview of everything. Give us the movie. Give us fucking what's next.
Give you the
brand. Yeah.
And
let's
where
hear
they
it.
can find.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So some of the biggest things that we're working on right now is the movie. The movie is the biggest thing. It's called Out of the Rough. Shout out Bill Hornack and shout out Miss T. That's my acting coach. They reached out to me about probably like 5 months now. Reached out about 5 months ago. They sent an email saying, hey, Brice, we're a big fan of you. We love your content. We see that you used to play basketball and that you play golf now. We need an actor that can do both in real life. So it's believing in the movie. I told them, I said, well, the first email I thought it was fake, so I trashed it. Then they sent another one. I was like, fuck out of here. I'm not like starting no movie. This is some bullshit. They sent another one, and we all hopped on a call, and it was all real. And he said, yeah, we want you to be a part of this movie. It's been in the works for like the past 3 years, and now we're kind of at the finish line of casting people. And they came across your stuff, and we want you to be a part of it. And I said, that sounds amazing. Only thing is, I can't fucking act. So right now I'm in acting class, and the movie filming should start late fall. And it's about a kid that his name is DeAndre, and he's a 4-star basketball high school player, got anger management issues, was a foster kid similar to me being adopted. He got kicked off the team, or he didn't get kicked off. He lost all his offers, and but he really wants to go to college. But he ain't got nobody other than like his foster mom and his foster brother. So he feel like he got like chip on his shoulder, think I got to do everything on my own sort of situation. And he gets a job at a country club, and he's just working as a dishwasher. And then there's this old like drunken PGA coach that used to be really good back in the day, but was like racially profiled and kind of kicked out of the league, even though like there was somebody that wronged him that was white. And it's still really good. But now he's an alcoholic, kind of in depression.
Oh shit! Oh, I don't want you to give us the whole. Don't give us the whole. Don't give us the whole. Read the script. That should sound amazing.
Okay, so the gist of it is, at the end, he teaches him the game of golf, and it follows.
It's that path, that journey.
It's like it's gonna be the vibe of like Remember the Titans type shit.
Oh, that's gonna be fire.
Speaking of Gregory Allen Williams, hopefully he's a part of it. Really famous actor. If you're like into like who Gregory would be, he's been in like all your favorite shows. But he really wants Denzel to kind of
have
that.
Shout out Denzel.
Shout out
Denzel. That would be tough.
If you watch it, you need to go in the movie and you need to go on the
channel. From like not even being an actor to being in acting classes. How was
bro?
That
I'm low key. I think that's like probably the hard, like it's low key harder than golf because because when I first started my first class, I'll show y'all the video if I get a chance. Shit was terrible. Like I was pronunciating every word, like the ending, because that's how we talk. Like we talk articulate and clear. And she's like, after the first class, she like, it's gonna be a lot of work. Like I see the potential, but you gotta like that the way that you be talking shit, throw some swag in it. And now 11 weeks later, I've grown so much in it, and having other acting coaches come in and help me out. You know, it's been truly, it's been one of the hardest things, but one of the most fulfilling things. I'm really excited to see like when it all comes together.
Hell yeah, we're gonna be watching.
What's the title of it again?
It's called Out of the Rough.
Out of the Rough. Pay attention when that does come out.
We don't have a release date yet. I just know filming should start like late fall.
Thank you for watching this long. If you haven't already, subscribe. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You think we just sitting here doing it for nothing?
You think you're gonna sit here and
need to like
this shit?
I know you're not subscribed. Click it.
Cool.